And we're live. What's going on? Everyone's live with Kenny. I think this will be episode 80. 80? No, 79. So it's been a hectic week this week. You know, we have Daniel Penning uh having still have his trial looming. Apparently he's gonna be a hung jury. It tells you what kind of state our country's in, where a guy protecting people from a crazed homeless man, it's considered a hung jury. Like, make it make sense. But we'll talk about more of that. Trump doubles down on protecting his pick for defense secretary, Hegseth, the trans ideology, and more. So let's get into the teeth of the kind of what I see as the most uh chaotic. Like, I can't believe in this day and age where if you do a good deed, they say no good deed goes unpunished. And it seems like Daniel Penny is going through it. Manslaughter charges against Daniel Penny dismissed. Lesser charges still looms. Judge Wiles took an unprecedented step in allowing the prosecution to drop the top charge to try and get a conviction on the lesser charge. Now, if you've ever been part of jury duty, you know this is a common tactic many prosecutors do, right? Like, they put in your head, they make the case, they say, hey, you're guilty of this, he's not guilty of that. And they stack up all these charges to get you eventually on one of them. And it seems like the same tactic is being played right now. And one of the things I like to point out too is that many people complain about the justice system, but I believe that the justice system, Democrats are the ones that corrupt it the most, right? So let's read a little bit about it. But before we read into it, I think I had a video prepped for it about what exactly is going on here, because this is some craziness over here. This is some foolishness over here. So let's get into a video, and I'll read more into the story later on.
All right, a judge has gone ahead and dismissed the manslaughter charge in the Daniel Penny trial after the jury was hopelessly deadlocked on the issue, going back on forth on it for the better part of the afternoon. Ultimately, the judge dropping it. But, of course, it's not over. There is one remaining, and that is criminally negligent behavior on the part of Penny during that whole incident.
Imagine that. You step in, you try to prevent something bad from happening, and that's considered a misconduct, a misbehavior. This is the charge they're trying to get him on. He only has one charge left. This is a travesty what's going on with Daniel Penny. This is ridiculous, right? And this is why I think liberals, like so many men, push back against the Democratic Party, because the Democratic Party looks down on masculinity, right? They want you to be a coward. They want you to just back down. They don't want you to come in and prevent things from happening. They don't want you to actually take action and deal with the problem immediately. They punish people of action. And it's so sad to see that Daniel Penny is being made an example of. And this is why when people complain about the justice system, I always go back to, like, yo, some of the most corrupt places are Democratic run justice systems. Look at New York. Are we surprised, really? And then these same people, right? And I see it a lot on TikTok. I see it a lot on shorts and all this stuff. Women complaining, oh, why men don't step in? Because our society has created an incentive structure where if a man does decide to step in and protect other people, he's punished. Make it make sense. But only in New York, only in a Democratic city, only in a Democratic judicial jurisdiction that someone will get punished for trying to protect other people on a train. Let's continue with the story.
That, of course, is in the eye of the beholder, and 12 jurors who clearly couldn't agree on the more serious manslaughter charge. Anyone's guess how they will rule when they come back on this lesser charge. CB Cotton with more in New York. CB.
Hi, Neil. Well, what this essentially means at this point is that Daniel Penny's future still hangs in limbo for the time being until at least Monday, and we still don't know what Monday will bring, how jurors will deliberate and what they'll think about their next task at hand. We know that in terms of that top charge, second-degree manslaughter, they were deadlocked twice on that charge today, and now they're tasked on Monday with deliberating on criminally negligent homicide. It does come with a possible prison sentence of up to 4 years, but I want to read from New York penal law, because this gets very interesting right here. There's an alternative definition for a Class E felony, which is what criminally negligent homicide is here in New York. It says, having regard to the nature and circumstance of the crime and to the history and character of the defendant, is of the opinion that a sentence of imprisonment is necessary, but it would be unduly harsh to impose an indeterminate or determinate sentence. The court may impose a definite sentence of imprisonment and fix a term of 1 year or less. So if the jury, that's a lot of legal speak right there.
I'm like, come on. This is, you know how they say you can't deregulate your way into tyranny, but you can certainly regulate your way into tyranny. Show me the man, I'll show you the crime. This is exactly what it is. Daniel Panning is being made an example. I don't know how any man is comfortable stepping in and trying to de-escalate a situation. They want to punish men's protective nature. And I remember seeing a woman on X talk about this stuff, is that, yo, in this clown world that we live in, women want to call toxic masculinity. Is it toxic masculinity to stop a dude stepping in and protecting the life of someone else? Is that toxic masculinity? Are we really going to punish a dude? Like, imagine, it's a hung jury. It took them 2 times to deliberate before they can decide whether to let him go on the man charge. Now on this misconduct of misbehavior. What the hell does that mean? Yo, our justice system, dog. Juries on Friday said that they were deadlocked on whether Penny's recklessly caused the death of Jordan Neely on a New York subway last May, prompting Judge Maxwell Willey and Assistant District Attorney Daphna Yora to discuss the possibility of dropping the manslaughter charge, journalist Matthew Lee reported. After discussing it with her colleagues, Yoran told the judge that the DA would like to dismiss the manslaughter charge against Penny, which could have landed him 15 years in prison. Look at these tactics, man. Oh, we need to get our prosecution. You know, these prosecutors, they want their perfect record. As Lee reported, Penny's attorney argued that such a move would be coercing the jury, but the judge, who has been favorable to the prosecution throughout the trial, disagrees. Literally getting tag teamed. Like, what is the purpose of this? What kind of message is New York trying to send? That we protect criminals. I forgot what you call it when a society is creating an incentive structure where it rewards bad behavior and it punishes good behavior. Anarchical tyranny, I don't know, these little fancy words, I don't know them. But this is the incentive. Show me the incentive and I'll show you the outcome. If you get punished for stepping in when a crazed homeless dude says that I'm going to hurt somebody, or I forgot the exact quote, I'm going to kill somebody tonight, or someone going to get hurt today. I don't know what kind of threat he made. He's threatening people. And a guy steps in, and unfortunately, the dude loses his life because he kept trying to resist and being aggressive against other people in a confined space in the subway. You're going to go to jail. We're going to prosecute you. We're going to charge you. I want to feel comfortable living in New York, bro. George Welly then asked Yora what he should tell the jury. Lee reported, to which she responded that the judge shouldn't tell them that this is an acquittal of the manslaughter charge, but simply that has been dismissed. Penny's attorney, Thomas Kenneth, shot back that such a tactic has not been used before and could create a precedent where prosecutors overcharge someone with the option to withdraw the top charges if a jury cannot make a decision. But if I come out here and say, yo, Democrats are some of the most corrupt people I ever met in my life, they create a judicial system where essentially it's at the whims of the judge. Hey, hopefully Daniel Penny, Monday, he gets off on all charges. Hopefully. But I think I spent enough time on that story. I just wanted to cover it a little bit. Let's get to Pete Hegseth. Trump has expressed that he's doubling down his support for Pete Hegseth as he shores up support from the Senate. Now, we hear all these stories about how, he's an alcoholic, he's a possible rapist, even though the lady's story didn't line up. She met Pete Hegseth in a bar. They had fun time in the same hotel. And she regretted it. She said, "Oh, I have a husband who's sleeping in the other room. I can't believe I did this." Claimed that she was drunk. She wasn't herself. Her husband's story corroborated with Pete Hegseth's story that she came home. She was cordial. She was syndiate. She was aware, self-aware. She told him, "Oh, I overdid it, or I forgot what time it was." And then weeks later, she said, "Oh, I was raped." Come on, come on. The story's not even believable. But I digress. President Trump has doubled down his support of his defense secretary, Pete Hegseth. This comes as media outlets, mainstream media outlets, have been running reports in an attempt to tarnish Hegseth's chances in nomination process. Hegseth was on the Hill earlier this week, shoring up support in the Senate. Trump posted on Truth that Hegseth is doing very well. His support is strong and deep, and much more than the fake news will have you believe. He was a great student at Princeton and Harvard, educated in a military state of mind. He's a winner. Those are words of Trump. Now, I want to kind of focus on the media real quick because media is playing a very, they're under a huge microscope this week. GOP senators blow up media. There's all the noise out there, and then this is what's actually happening, right? So the media is getting called out as per usual. Like, what's interesting is the national media, the CNNs, the MSNBCs, all those CBS, all talks about people as if they have met. All of us get the privilege of actually getting a chance to be able to meet them. So there's all the noise out there, and then there's actually what's happening on the Hill as people are on one-on-one, one by one, getting to meet with folks. So I'm doing as I'm doing later on today with several different nominees. He explained. This is some crazy. So let's hear him in his own words, and then I want to kind of highlight Jeff Bezos, who's on the thumbnail, and I think he said something interesting. But it's going to be hard for the media to gain back its reputation, especially when it's focusing so much attention on a story that's backed up by anonymous sources, but with Doug Emhoff and other Democratic men, zip. They don't want to bring any exposure. They don't want to highlight any of those stories, but they want to highlight this. They're very selective on what they want to give airtime and not give airtime. So let's get back. Let's hear this senator's comments on the Hegseth
But what's
situation.
interesting is the national media, the CNN, the MSNBC, all those CBS, all those folks all talk about people as if they've met them. All of us get the privilege of actually getting a chance to be able to meet them and to be able to walk through that. So there's all the noise that's out there. Then there's actually what's happening on the Hill as people are one by one getting a chance to be able to meet with folks, as I'm doing later on today with several different nominees. So let's let everybody walk through the process on this and actually do the constitutional responsibility. President Trump, like every other president, has the right to be able to hire his staff and to be able to pick the people around him. I have that right to be able to hire the people around him. But the Senate also has a role in key people in what's called advice and consent. Very often, everybody is put in place on that, but there'll be a couple of folks that'll go through the process that there'll be a few senators that'll say no to. At this point, let it play out. Let's get past the media noise and let's actually do the constitutional process.
And what's annoying me about the story is the fact that Biden, I don't remember so much fanfare when Biden was making his picks. I don't remember them being so much resistance when Biden was making his cabinet picks. I didn't hear no negative stories about it. I didn't hear anyone, no pressure campaign going out. It is so ridiculous how like the media likes to pretend that somehow Biden is prosecuted, like he's uniquely prosecuted, but they don't see how they treat Trump. Like, yo, if it wasn't Trump, would you be doing the tactics that they're doing now? No way in hell they will be doing this. And then they wonder why Trump has such not vitriol, but why Trump is convinced that the mainstream media is fake news. Jeff Bezos, in an attempt to save his Washington Post, says that he will meet with Donald Trump to convince him that mainstream media isn't fake news. Oh, it's going to be hard. Jeff Bezos has an uphill battle. I will admit that. I'm going to talk him out of the idea. I don't think the press is the enemy. Let's go persuade him on this. Biden has, come on. Trump has seen the press make up hoaxes, right? This is nothing more than a hoax. Oh, anonymous sources said he drunk, but people on record said he didn't. So who are you supposed to believe? Who are you supposed to believe as a voter? Let's hear what Jeff Bezos has to say, because he's
What
trying to
about
save
the
his whole
idea that
career
he
right now.
thinks that the press is the enemy?
Well,
He thinks or he knows?
I think I'm going to try to talk him out of that idea. I don't think the press is the enemy. And I don't.
It's not only just Trump. It's the American people as well. If you look at polls, the American people do not trust the mainstream media whatsoever. Ever. They don't trust them at all. But, I digress. I'm going to continue.
I think, he's also, you've probably grown in the last 8 years. He has too. Like, it's, this is not the case. The press is not the enemy.
I hope you're right.
I hope I'm right too.
Have you talked?
Let's go persuade him of this. No, let's
have you talked to him about it?
But you and I should go. Let's go talk to him.
If we could try.
I really don't. I think that this is absolutely. I don't think he's going to see it the same way. But maybe I'll be wrong.
Was that always your thought, by the way?
I think that's very optimistic of Jeff Bezos, but seeing how they're coming out here for his picks, seeing how they catastrophize, they dramatize every single thing that Donald Trump do. I want to do tariffs. Oh my God, tariffs are going to cause inflation. Even though it's conditions. There's conditions to be met for the tariffs to happen, but here they are telling you, oh my God, it's gonna be a fire if Trump decides to do it. Anything Trump decides to do, somehow it's negative. You got Democrats coming for DOGE, for example. Media's covering it, and they always put it in a Democrat view. Always project it in a Democratic view, right? And this hypocrisy from the left is getting exposed in real time because, as you know, Karine Jean-Pierre is finally getting confronted on her lies. And this is some of the things that many people that justifies, that continues incentivizing the distrust for the mainstream media, because the legacy media says, Biden says this, and they don't give no pushback. They don't highlight any unflattering things that would suggest that Joe Biden is not going to fall through with this promise of not pardoning his sons. Republicans were asking this question. They're like, it's easy to say that, but what happens after election? What happens if you lose the election? Under no circumstances you're going to pardon your son, Joe Biden? Under no circumstances. But now, Karine Jean-Pierre is telling you, circumstances has changed. Why you didn't tell us that? We asked the question. We asked for clarity, and you told us that under no circumstances, that means you didn't think of any circumstances where you would do a pardon for Hunter Biden. But all of a sudden, the excuse you want to give Karine Jean-Pierre is, circumstances has changed. Make it make sense. But, let's hear it out of her own mouth.
So does he regret that he had misled the public about what would eventually happen?
Look, what I will say is he laid out his thought process. He talked about the underlying facts of the case. He thought it was very important. That was part of the first paragraph of his statement, wanting to explain and talking about the gun charges, right? Talking about the tax cases and wanting to make sure that they understood, like, these types of things would not be a normal reason to prosecute, right? Virtually no one would be criminally prosecuted with felony offenses with these facts.
One, Wesley Snipes was prisoned for tax evasion, if I remember correctly, right? So celebrities can get prosecuted for these charges. A vice president, current president's son can't be. No one's above the law, Joe Biden says, except if you're associated with Joe Biden. And now there's talks about preemptive pardons, that many people are seeing this as a damn near admission of guilt, that Biden is going to create a precedent. And here's the funny thing about the whole Joe Biden pardon stuff. If it was just about the gun and tax evasions, why push it 10 years back? Why go all the way back to 2014? Joe Biden, Hunter Biden didn't commit any crimes in 2014, but you made a 10-year pardon. And I like how they conveniently always leave this out. And they wonder why, Jeff Bezos wonder why Donald Trump does not trust the press, why he thinks mainstream media outlets are the enemy of the people, why a majority of Americans don't trust mainstream media, Why only Democrats seem to trust mainstream media? Because every non-Democrat sees through your BS. They see through your doublespeak. A reporter says, oh, he has misled the public. No, he lied to the public. But I digress. They always have to cover up their inadequacies, their flaws. When Democrats do something wrong, they always try to let it down gently. Oh, you misled the public. Donald Trump, he lied. No, Biden lied. So why you ain't using the same energy? And this is the inconsistency that really grinds my gears, as I would say. But let's continue with the clip, because I got more coming about how flawed the mainstream media is.
Whether it's absent aggravated factors, similar charges are rarely brought. When you think about gun charges, the tax cases, such as Hunter's, when taxes are repaid with penalties, are rarely criminally charged. They are handled civilly, and these are the things that the legal experts also agreed with him on. And so he wanted to lay that out for the American people as well. And I, don't have anything else beyond what the president laid out, his thinking in his written statement, in his words. I just don't have anything beyond that.
So does he?
So you heard that, right? So you heard her. She says, "Hey, Scott Jennings, here's his commentary on that video. Sure sounds like the White House is arguing that the Biden's Department of Justice is corrupt. Why didn't Biden sack the AG if Biden believes DOJ is unfairly prosecuting private citizens?" No answer. She ain't got the answers, Scott. She ain't got the answers. And it's so crazy to me that we let this woman sit up here and lie to us time and time and time again. And this is why, Jeff Bezos this is why I think Jeff Bezos is being positive about him trying to persuade Donald Trump that the mainstream media isn't the enemy of the people. But what else can you call it? If let's think about it. If CNN, MSNBC went at scrutinized Joe Biden as much as they scrutinized Donald Trump, people would have saw this coming. Nobody would be surprised about what's going on. Republicans weren't surprised. Non-Democrats wasn't surprised, but Democrats are surprised. A bunch of Democrats are eating crow right now, because they try to use this as a moral high ground. Oh, our president stands on morals and principles. How are you looking now, Democrats? Sitting here virtue signaling, acting like you better than thou. And you find out your candidate was just the same, if not worse. Because at least when Donald Trump was in the same position as Joe Biden in 2020, people were telling Donald Trump, pardon yourself, Donald Trump, pardon yourself. Trump was like, nah, I'm going to let them prosecute me. And in 2023, what happened? You raided his house in Mar-a-Lago. The moment he said he was going to run for president, you put all these convictions on him. In New York, you redefined statute of limitations so that way some crazy woman who's delusional and thinks she was with Trump can come out and prosecute him. So you can get your 34 charges. Make it make sense. The media was complicit in all this. Look at all the scrutiny for Donald Trump. Donald Trump's not even president yet. It wasn't even Thanksgiving yet, and they already had negative news for Donald Trump. Criticizing his cabinet picks. Pushing out stories, pushing out rumors. Oh, anonymous sources told us that Pete Hegseth beat people. He's a drunkard. Everyone who have a name and face put their name and face behind the statement that Pete Hegseth, these stories are untrue. So where are these anonymous sources? Because end of the day, if you had to tell me, Kenny, are you going to believe people who's putting their name and character and reputation on the line to defend Pete Hegseth, or anonymous sources that are scared to come out and actually reveal themselves and tell us who they are so we can properly gauge the credibility of their claims? Who are you supposed to believe? But look how the media is portraying everything. The media is portraying as if anonymous sources has more weight than people who put their names behind Pete Hegseth, who worked with Pete Hegseth, and is saying these claims are not true. But the media is not the enemy of the people, Jeff Bezos. Very optimistic of him. But let's continue, because Karine Jean-Pierre is getting torched. She's getting torched right now, defending the hypocrisy of the Democrats. The Democrats like to look good, but Democrats in actuality don't want to do good. Let's continue with the clip.
Thanks, Karine.
Zeke asked this question, I just didn't hear an answer. The next time that the president says he will or won't do something, why should the American people believe him?
I answered that question. I don't have anything else to add.
What is your answer?
I answered the question.
Can you
I
explain it
answered
in
the
a way
question.
that's understandable?
I can't speak to you understanding the question or not, or my answer or not on this. I don't have anything else to say.
Uh-oh.
I'm not going to relitigate this. I did this on Monday
she don't
for
want us to
30
do it
minutes.
again.
I went back and forth. I laid out. I said, please read the president's really comprehensive statement on this. And I even said the last paragraph of that statement, he talks directly to the American people. And that's how I answered that question.
Can you acknowledge that it may have been a mistake by the president, you, to say multiple times unequivocally that he would not pardon his son?
The president laid out in that statement
Not answering questions.
why his mind changed, how he wrestled with this decision.
Then why? Don't say something you don't mean. This is the problem with politicians in general, but with Democrats. Democrats say they will do something when they know damn and well they have no capabilities of doing this. Oh, well, codify Roe. You don't have the votes to codify Roe. So why are you running on codifying Roe? This is some of the problems that non-Democrats express explicitly about the Democratic Party. Give you a whole bunch of promises they know damn well they can't keep. And when they fail, they're going to be like, we tried. It was those pesky Republicans. When in the first place, you had no ability to do so. Democrats love to project what they are to other people. Democrats love to project Donald Trump's a liar. But then you just lied and said that Donald Trump wanted to ban abortion when Trump explicitly said that he will veto any abortion bill he sees. Either for or against abortion, he'll veto it because he believes it's a state's issue. What Democrats turn around and do? Still fear-mongering about Donald Trump banning abortion because they know how to emotionally rile up their voters to continue voting for them. Now look at her face. Now look at her. She should resign. Karine Jean-Pierre should resign. But she won't. She got what? Maybe a month left at the job. And this is how she's going to go out. Still not being able to answer questions directly.
The president laid that out. I don't have anything else to add.
So that statement, he said in part, I believe in the justice system, but as I have wrestled with this, I also believe raw politics has infected this process and it led to a miscarriage of justice. Just to understand that sentence, I think it's important.
Yeah,
Is
for
it
sure.
that the president believes in the justice system except in some cases?
He believes in the justice system. He believes the facts are. Obviously, I talked about the gun charges, what legal experts have said, former prosecutors have all agreed, virtually no one would be criminally prosecuted.
Someone needs to. This is also one reason why many people don't trust the mainstream media nor mainstream media outlets, because the questions people really want to ask is not being asked here. What we really want to ask is, why does Biden need to give his son a 10-year pardon? Why he had to pardon his son 10 years back when all these charges was in 2018? Why he had to go that far back? Republicans have claims that he was part of some corruption scheme in 2014, 2015, 2016, on his way out with Burisma, Ukraine, donations being made to Hunter Biden, and all of a sudden the favors Joe Biden acting in a way that benefited these same donors. There's a lot of coincidence going on here. Many people believe that Joe Biden was protecting his own skin, giving his son a 10-year pardon. No one's asking Karine Jean-Pierre that question. And the way she's answering these questions, I don't even think she's ready for that kind of questioning. But I digress.
For underlying factors of Hunter's case. I talked about the gun charges. I talked about the taxes, the tax cases. And there are other factors here, what Republicans have said, as they weren't going to let up. I talked about the upcoming sentencing and what Hunter and his family have been through. I talked about the appointees by the incoming president on law enforcement positions. And he wrestled with it. He did. And I also talked about what Jim Clyburn said. So you're asking me about an apology, but Jim Clyburn said himself in a conversation that he had with the president just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, sound like a whole lot of excuses. A whole lot of excuses. They want to give Trump no quarter. They will give Trump no quarter. It's just I'm just shocked, right? Like here's Bill Clinton, right? We're gonna talk about
You
Bill
think
Clinton
Biden
here.
should be?
We like Bill Clinton's going to talk about politicization, right? He said, Clinton wants to stop the cycle of criminalizing politics. I do think we should stop trying to criminalize politics. Both of us. Both of us. Oh, how convenient. Dems, now that we have criminalized politics for 4 years and are out of power, we would like the cycle to stop now. It's the same ish every damn day. Same damn thing. Like I talked about in my video criticizing Barack Obama and how I found it hypocritical that he's worried about people the Republicans stacking the deck in their favor. And I highlight how one thing I vividly remember is when Republicans were saying, do not remove the filibuster. Oh, we have majority. We could do whatever we want. And Democrats removed the filibuster. And Republicans said, okay, don't get mad when we play by the new rules, the new precedent that you set. Don't get mad at us when you finish setting a new precedent, and then Republicans use that new precedent, and now you want to say, oh, both of us needs to stop. It's the same thing with political rhetoric. It's the same game. They criminalize politics for 4 years, prosecute Trump, send lawfare against Trump, try to bankrupt Trump with all these with lawfare. Now Trump is about to be in the same position where he could do the same thing. Oh, let's stop this. Let's both of us stop this after you got to throw the first punch. So after you get to hit us, now you want to stop fighting. You punch us in the face and you say, oh, let's stop fighting now. It's not going to be beneficial for either of us if we keep the fight going. Yeah, but you got to punch in. I need to get a punch back. This is what Bill Clinton is essentially telling us. But let's hear it in his own words. I could be misinterpreting things.
You think Biden should be pardoning Trump? And by the way, some people think that Trump should be pardoning Biden.
Well, I do think we should stop trying to criminalize politics. But on the other, I think we should, both of us.
It sounds good.
Because, obviously. And the people don't like it, and they're not going along with it from right to left. On the other hand, you have to ask yourself, if you do this blanket thing, is there anything a president could do that he would or she someday would get in trouble for?
You think Biden should be?
So I go back to the example again. Bill Clinton wants to stop the cycle of criminalizing politics, right? Isn't this like let's play the game. Like let's go back. Let's see the actions of these people. When you do these flashbacks, right? When we go back in time and see the positions these people had, these people said that, hey, if Trump pardons people, it's an admission of guilt. When Biden pardons people, oh, he's trying to protect people. He's trying to do the right thing. He gets a whole sob story in the New York Times. And after they get to break precedent like they usually do, these Democrats always be breaking precedents. I think the first president to pardon a family member, I think it was Woodrow Wilson, Democrat. Then Bill Clinton, I think it was his cousin-in-law or something. Oh, how's what Biden doing unprecedented? He gave a 10-year pardon period for his son after denying that, oh, his son didn't do anything wrong. He was qualified to work at an energy company in Burisma. Okay. Getting $900,000 donations. And bro, these people, they do not respect us. They don't. They don't respect us at all. Right? Pete Hegseth can't get his picks in. Pete Hegseth can't get nominated. Like, imagine that. Donald Trump's term doesn't even start yet. And it's seeming like a fight just to get his cabinet picks in. When Biden didn't get the same attention. Media, you're politicized. Oh, but we worry about politicized DOJ. The DOJ was politicized since Obama came in. It probably was politicized even further than that. And American people want reform. I talked about how Eric Holder, Obama's attorney general, was using fines that they get at corporations and use it as settlements for their donors, for these advocacy groups. Americans can see that the net worth of Nancy Pelosi hits an all-time of $240 million. Cash Patel coming in, he says it's inside trading. Joe Rogan, outsider, sees inside trading. Grant Cardone, real estate mogul, says it's inside trading. Tucker Carlson, journalist, says it's inside trading. Everybody and their mama know Nancy Pelosi is insider trading. What was that accountability at? But Bill Clinton says, let's stop politicizing politics. So you get to lawfare against Trump. You get to break precedent and make Donald Trump the first president to have his house raided by the DOJ. You want to break all this precedent, and then you don't want Republicans to get back. Oh, now we gotta play peaceful. I swear, bro. I honestly, I don't understand these people, bro. I don't understand these people. Here's a commentary I want you guys to listen to, because I always forget her name, but I love playing her clips because to me, she resonates a lot with, I think, a common sense American that just sees the ish for what it is. Let's react to this video.
The very idea of a preemptive pardon is shocking. The exact kind of norm breaking that the Democrats love to accuse Trump of. Think of what a preemptive pardon means. It is a tacit admission that the Democrats believe that Dr. Fauci or Adam Schiff committed crimes, that there would be something to find if one went looking, but also that the Democrats will not and would never go looking there. In other words, if Biden issues these blanket pardons, he will be ratifying the idea that was so aptly laid out by Peru's General Oscar Benvenides: for my friends, everything; for my enemies, the law.
That's the Democratic Party for you. I talk about how tribal liberals are, right? The left is very collectivist. They're very tribal. Rules for liberal, like rules for you, not for me, because I'm a liberal. That is the Democratic message. I'm a Democrat, therefore it's different. It's different when Hillary Clinton do it. When Hillary Clinton has classified information and she tries to hide the evidence by putting down her servers and bleaches. I don't know how she destroyed the evidence. You give her a slap on the wrist and tell her, don't do it again, Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump takes documents home as a former president. You raid his house with weapons, FBI, DOJ, making it the first time a former president got his house raided. You broke precedent yet again, Democrats. And now Republicans win, popular vote, electoral college sweep, which is the most important part, the electoral college, because we're a republic, not a democracy. Now, when the Republican Party is in power, oh, no. Now you want to beg for mercy. Now you want everything to be principled. Now you want to call Republicans to follow principles. Oh, don't be like us. Don't be like us Democrats. Don't go after your political rivals. I like the point that you brought up. Democrats know that there's things you can go looking for and you'll find somebody guilty of something. Nancy Pelosi. Everybody and their mama know Nancy Pelosi is inside trading. So that means if Donald Trump wanted, he could be like, hey, Cash Patel, investigate Nancy Pelosi, which Cash Patel already knows that Nancy Pelosi is inside trading. He could put Nancy Pelosi in jail. And what Joe Biden's preemptive pardons are about, protecting my friends who I know is breaking the law. I know they're breaking the law. I know they're using their positions in government to enrich themselves, their families, their close friends, their interest group. I know they're doing these things, but I won't hold them accountable because they're in my team. Remember, I think I did a video with Obama, the Obama video, right? Watch it if you haven't watched it already. In the Obama video, I point out how in the New York Times, when the New York Times 2020 was reacting to Trump pondering about a pardon for himself, his family, because he was worried about political prosecution, people were saying, oh, this is clemency for Trump loyalists. Isn't that what Biden's doing right now by these preemptive pardons? I'll have more respect for the media if they was just consistent for how they apply their standards, their moral indignation when they're trying to slander people based on ethics. I wish they keep it consistently, because right now they can say the same thing about Biden. Biden's trying to give clemency to his Democrat loyalists, people who are loyal to him. He's trying to save them. Rules for not for me. This is how this is going to ruin the Democratic brand. And I'll make sure Democrats never forget this. If I get a Democratic voter in my face talking about how they're for the rich, sorry, they are for the rich. If they're for the poor, they're for the working class, I'ma laugh. I'ma like, Joe Biden? Oh, and stick around. I got an interesting little poll that I want to show you guys on this live stream after this video.
It's a complete assault on the rule of law, an admission that the Democrats believe that justice not only is political, but should be politicized. It sets an extremely dangerous precedent from the side constantly yammering on about the dangers posed by Trump to our democracy. I guess we've arrived at the doing away with the rule of law stage of defending democracy. Every accusation from the Democrats is a confession. They say that Trump's appointees are hell-bent on revenge. It is Republicans, they say, who plan to weaponize the Department of Justice and the FBI against Trump's political enemies, as though the Democrats didn't deploy the DOJ and courts across the country to attempt to imprison Donald Trump in an obviously politically motivated witch hunt. As
Which
though the
most
FBI
Americans
were not
believe was political. But Bill Clinton, both of us need to stop this. No. You need to stop this. You started it. I agree. Look, playground rules. You start it, the other guy gets to finish it. Because it's like, I'm tired of this now. I'm tired. How many times that the Republicans have to be the bigger person? 2016, Trump had a chance to go after Hillary Clinton. He joked about it. Pardon me. He said that to Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton saw me in the hallway, and she said, pardon me. And then when he was in president 2016, he didn't go after Hillary Clinton. He could have, but he didn't, because he respected political norms. But what Joe Biden did when he came in 2021, there's chammering, we're gonna set him up. It was like a threat to Donald Trump. If you run again, we're gonna come after you. We're gonna put you in jail. It was the liberal wet dream to see Donald Trump in jail, and they never got it. But you talking about, should stop criminalizing politics. Bill Clinton, have you seen your party lately? Barack Obama, we know you were the first one to politicize the DOJ. Like, who makes settlements? Hey, you can settle your settlements by donating to my progressive advocacy groups or groups that's aligned with my political party. You can give your fine money to them as a circumvent around the House, because because Obama in his second term, they have control over the House. The Republicans have control of the House. So he knew he couldn't get all the money he needed. So he redirected funds to these progressive groups as a slush fund. Make it make sense. Doesn't that sound politicized? You finish fining a corporation for breaking some type of regulation that they had, or they did some lawsuit or something. Then you get your Eric Holder guy to tell them, you can resolve the settlement by donating to this advocacy group here. Don't that sound politicized? Don't that sound corrupt? Obama, but out of Obama's own mouth, the hypocrite, talking about, they're gonna start these guys. I'm worried that these guys will rig elections, put the odds in their favor. Really, Obama? Really? Every accusation is an admission. I'm gonna start saying that a lot. Projection, as I like to call it, the projection bias. Every time a liberal open their mouth, they're projecting exactly what they do.
And covering up the Hunter Biden laptop story to help Biden win in 2020. As though the intelligence community didn't routinely collude with President Trump's political opponents to undermine him at every turn, both while he was in office and since. Set aside the fact that Trump never persecuted his political enemies during his first term, including Hillary Clinton. I'm asking this question honestly.
But they're worried about Trump. These people, bro, they're the kind of people that they use your mercy, right? They're the kind of people in the show, I'm going all over the place, but I feel like I just want to talk today. You know, in those shows where the villain don't deserve mercy, and you're screaming at the screen, "Don't spare him! Don't spare him! He's just gonna come back and f stuff up. Don't spare him!" And the hero decided because he was moral, he believed in his principles. I believe in redemption. I'll let you live. We all go, no, he's gonna work to destroy you. The moment he turned his back, trying to stab him in the back immediately. That's the Democratic Party. When they have power, they love to leverage it to destroy the Republicans. They love to leverage. They're not scared because they're never punished by their voters when they break their principles. Biden just finished lying to his voters in their face. I'm not mentally declining. Lie. I'm not going to pardon my son. Lie. Democrat, if he were to run, Democrats will still vote for him because he's a Democrat. Tribal.
Of any Democrat who supports this. Do the American people not have a right to hold powerful individuals accountable just because they happen to serve the interests of the Democratic Party? Do we not have a right to know if Dr. Fauci or Adam Schiff lied to us on purpose, abused their power, committed crimes? Do you not want to know? Most presidential pardons go to people after they have served their time or at least after they've been sentenced. The logic makes sense. You want to know what you're pardoning somebody for. Now, Hunter Biden's pardon was already a norm breaker in that it was issued over a blanket period and before he served time. But these pardons would go even further, protecting people who have yet to be accused of anything. If these are ultimately implemented, it would suggest that there is no crime imaginable that a high-ranking Democrat could commit that their side would consider worthy of prosecution.
Wow. And remember what Destiny was talking about? Oh, presidential immunity. Trump's immune now. You can do whatever you want. But look at Joe Biden here. Oh my God. I can't stand when the left do this type of stuff, right? And I'm moving on to the next topic because if I could talk about this for days. But let's go to the Al Sharpton is what I like to call him, right? Who the National Black Church Initiative is calling for him to be fired after it was exposed that he got paid $500,000 to give a softball interview to Kamala Harris. You see these Democrats, bro? Always trying to act good instead of actually doing good. Democrats are the type of people where you have to watch their every move or they'll never do anything good. Minute they're in the shadows, that's when that's what they show you who they really are. Let's hear this little snippet here.
I was stunned that some of the backlash she got were from black elected male officials saying they didn't want to support a woman. And I hear these people talk about black men that are pulling away from your campaign, though I've not seen any real evidence of that. I was stunned.
Softball interview, and for what? And what that got her? She paid $500 million towards staff. Let's read the story. Breaking: a coalition of black churches representing 28 million black Americans just issued a letter to MSNBC demanding that they fire Al Sharpton and investigate the payments Kamala made to him. Sharpton received a hefty $500,000, and many people call out Al Sharpton for a long time before this stuff, that he's a grifter, right? And I love it because black Democrats talk up and down their mouth, out of the side of their mouths about black conservatives, right? Or black people that don't go along with the democratic orthodoxy or homogeny or democratic dogma. They cry day and night, oh, y'all getting paid? How much y'all getting paid for talking these talking points? Not $500,000. I bet you if you look at any like Van Jones versus Larry Elder, I bet you Van Jones get paid more to back up Democrats than Larry Elder does. Van Jones used to be married to, I think, a daughter of a former president. I forgot her name already. But no black person or these so-called authentic blacks, these real black people, they don't ever question Van Jones' blackness. But Van Jones, because he talked the same way as I see a lot of black conservatives talk. If his butt was for Republicans, whole different ball game, right? They love calling black conservatives sellouts. But Al Sharpton is not a sellout here? Oh, I see no real evidence of black men leaving, pulling away from your campaign, Kamala Harris. Well, I guess your ass blind, Al Sharpton. But of course we expect you to do this. Look, you got to pay $500,000. Why not? Why wouldn't you kiss her butt? But this is what black Democrats pretend black conservatives do. I'm done. Like imagine, dude don't even have a degree in journalism. How he get a show on MSNBC? Riddle me that. But when I get negative comments on my comment section, I got dudes talking about, oh, you trying to get a show. You trying to get a show. Like Al Sharpton? Why can't I get paid to do my political opinion? But I get called a coon. And you wonder why the black community gets held back, bro. You wonder why we get held back. Because they talk about, oh, black people are not a monolith. An unsuspecting black Democrat falls upon my video and gets mad that I don't agree with reparations or that we should punish people or we should assume someone's inherently racist because of their skin color. Oh, I believe that black people can be racist because I don't see black people as inferior. Oh, how dare you, Kenny, not see black people as inferior? Yeah, whatever a white person is able to do, a black person is able to do. If a white person is able to be racist, your black butt is able to be racist. Because if I say you're not able to be racist because of your skin color, that is racist. I'm judging you based on your color of your skin. I'm giving you a different standard based on the color of your skin. That's racism. But they believe in the anti-woke, the anti-racist Kool-Aid. Reverse discrimination is the only cure to current discrimination. No, reverse discrimination only creates more discrimination. It shows you how short-sighted many of these Democrats are, right? And I had for those sticking around, breaking news: Americans view President Joe Biden as the worst president in modern U.S. history, according to J.L. Partners poll. According to a poll, Joe Biden, right now, I'm gonna start cooking Joe Biden now. Joe Biden, Mr. 82 million votes, Mr. most popular president in U.S. history. According to this poll, Americans view him as the worst president in modern history. Damn. Drake has a song called "Started from the Bottom, Now I'm Here." Drake probably has to do a remix. Started from the top, now I'm here. That's Joe Biden. Now, many conservatives speculate that, hey, if many people was allowed to see the Hunter Biden laptop story, Hunter Biden may not have won 2020. Hey, like I like to say, it was part of God's plan. Because imagine that. Trump would have had significantly less power in 2020 than compared to what he's going to walk into right now. He has the House, the Senate, the presidency. Ooh, Trump going to do a lot of work. What? Trump got 4 years to learn and see how these people operate from outside. Trump got 4 years of experience under his belt, 8 years of experience technically because he ran 3 campaigns. Trump is the most experienced, the most seasoned he's ever been. If you think about it, and this is this is a mindset shift, I guess. Maybe I'm preaching to the choir here. But literally, I always talk about this. Trump's adversity is his advantage. Every time they put adversity in Trump's way, he gets stronger for it. There's this book I like to read. It's called The Obstacle is the Way. And the premise of the book is that when you face obstacles, it's not necessarily meant to set you back. If you change your perspective on the obstacle, you can view it as a means of getting better, right? Oh, I got to get past this level so I can get ready for the next level. Oh, I got a setback. What can I learn from this setback to be better so I can overcome that setback? Because of the setback happening, I am a stronger person than if the setback never happened before. And this is literally Trump's story. Like when Trump passes away and we're recounting him in a historical manner, this is the kind of inspiration people are going to take back from his presidency, his presidential run. And what are you going to think about Biden? This is why Obama's scared about his legacy. It don't matter how the media spin it. Many Americans, when they say Joe Biden, they go about, ooh, it's going to be the same way like Jimmy Carter. Only a Democrat can say Jimmy Carter wasn't bad. Only a Democrat will be able to say that. Everyone who's not a Democrat will say that was the worst president. I regretted voting for him. Obama's legacy is tarnished. Right? Democrats got a big problem coming up in the horizon, right? Because Democrats can't understand perspectives that's outside of their echo chamber. Big problem for Democrats. Here's Hakeem Jeffries, aka Discount Obama. This is the name. Like, this is what Black conservatives call him. I'm just letting you in on the joke. This is Discount Obama. Discount Obama. Hakeem Jeffries trying to articulate to you that he doesn't understand the purpose of DOGE. Make it make sense, guys. Make it make sense. You're the Speaker of the House. You're the leader of the Democratic Party in the House. And you don't know what is the political purpose of your opposition's DOGE committee. Make it make sense.
Yeah, it's unclear to me what exactly the objective is related to this so-called DOGE initiative. From our perspective, we want a federal government that is effective and efficient and equitable.
Is the government any of those things? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the chat. Is the government any of those things? Is it effective? No. Look at the results of the Department of Education. Look at the results of the welfare. It ain't effective. Poverty is at the same level it was before the welfare was created. Look at education. Education went downwards after it was created. Does that sound effective to you? Efficient. Look at all the wasteful spending. Numerous departments are failing audits. Department of Education being one of them, but they like to focus on the Pentagon. Oh, okay. That don't sound very efficient to me. Equitable, that's more of that woke social Democrat garbage they like to spew at people to somehow make equal outcomes when that is a pipe dream. That is outside the capabilities of the government, but they want to keep convincing you that they can do it.
And to the extent the other side of the aisle shares that objective, which is what is right for the American people, then we'll see if there's common ground that's possible. Democrats will, of course, have to be directly involved to the extent that there is any legislative aspect of this, and we will, by necessity, be engaged because it's clear that the incoming House Republican majority will not be able to do much without us.
It's the only thing you got happy. Oh, we'll see 2026. But America, you can't reward this party, bro. This party got to suffer, bro. This party has to suffer. It's the Democrats are acting like noblemen. They're acting like there's some elite. Oh, I'm a noble. My son can't be judged like the peasants. That's how Joe Biden is doing it, right? These people are so short-sighted, right? Because I want to show you a flashback, right? Remember, because this is Trump's victory lap, right? Remember this 1 minute and 45-minute clip is going to bring a smile on people's face, and I think I want to end off my video with this. But before then, I think I wanted to highlight something before we get into the, before I get into this closing argument of mine, because there's a lot of politics being played here, right? And it's very concerning how some people consider us the most propagandized people in the United States of America. So Tucker Carlson decided to go back to Moscow. My suitcase. Me and my wife were laughing about the meme. Imagine being so corrupt that you say something like this about a person trying to stop a nuclear war. Imagine being so propagandized by the war machine and their bought media that you actually believe it. There's a guy named Michael Mercado. Tucker Carlson is a traitor to the United States of America because he went to Moscow to interview, I guess, the defense secretary or something like that. But I don't understand. See, this is my problem with the media. The media come out, right? They give positive coverage to Democrats, negative coverage to Republicans. Then when Republicans get power, when they find out that American people don't trust them, when they find out the American people sees the media as a threat to Americans, when many Americans attribute that the media is responsible for the division in this country. This is why many Americans hold them as a threat to Americans. They're appalled. They're gasping now. What? How come Americans don't trust us? We got the credentials. We went to Yale. We went to journalism school. You went to journalism school to push a narrative on people. You were supposed to be the institution that held people in power accountable. But what America realized is that the mainstream media was an institution that is meant to be the mouthpiece of the elite. This is the reality of journalism today, especially in the credentialed Ivy League version of it. And journalism in its core, in its history, it was based off civilian journalism. Based on what we're doing right now. It's like in the Bible.
Did was expose the
sun almost broke in. In the Bible, it talks about how there's nothing new under the sun. And I honestly believe with journalism, history is repeating itself. If you look at the history of journalism, it started off as civilian journalism, trying to, highlight stuff that's happening in your town. You want to spread information around. Tell me that's not the media, right? Tell me that's not social media right now. Oh, look, I found this interesting thing. Oh my God, look, I looked, I found out the army is coming. Look, I found out this piece. Look at all this evidence. History is really repeating itself. But now these guys with these pieces of paper who were taught to do journalism a specific way are mad and try to look down on us. And then they realize, look at the results. If you only got news from social media, especially from X is a little bit more credible than TikTok in my view, because there's more diverse of opinions there in X than TikTok. TikTok is a left-wing echo chamber in my view. If you was just on X, you got all your information only on X, you got all your news only on X, you are more informed than a person that sat down, watched MSNBC, watching CNN all damn day. You're more informed than them because they filter what kind of information you're exposed to. It's like a man that knows how to read. If you know how to read, you control what information, there's no limit to how much information you can have access to. But if you're getting your information from MSNBC, CNN, CBS, you're getting a filtered information. They kick out all the other things they don't think would benefit you, aka what they think won't benefit them. And they spoon feed you information that helps you guide you down a certain perspective that they want you to have. And this is what many people in America are fighting against currently. But hey, I digress. So let's look at more coverage from Newsmax, because I think this is an interesting segment. Yes, it's going to be about the pardons again, but it's to highlight exactly how the media kind of became the mouthpiece of the Democratic Party and the establishment, as we like to call it over here on this side of the internet.
Relentless, yawning gap between who the Democrats pretend to be and who they actually are. All of these high-minded ideals that they pretend to represent, the constant yammering on about representing and defending democracy, when at the end of the day, it's a cartel that is preparing to issue mass pardons to people to prevent them from ever being accused of crimes that it turns out the Democrats think they may have committed. And meanwhile, Donald Trump, for all of the accusations against him, has turned out to be a much more responsive character and leader who has eviscerated and humiliated the elites on his own side in order to give voice to the American people. So I think that's what we're really seeing, is the crumbling of the edifice of the Democrats' vanity, and then the elevation on the Republican side of a person who feels truly responsive to the will of the American people. It's an amazing moment in American politics.
Amazing moment indeed, right? If the media was honest, like this is what the media used to be. The media would see this and be like, look at this contrast. The Democrats present themselves as such and such, but they're hypocrites. They're people who pretend to be good. They're cartels, as the lady was said. Not Newsmax. Ha ha ha. I love this channel. I appreciate it. Jess Leon. Right? But the finale is here for the show.
Winning the general.
I want to highlight this doozy one because this is going to be a fun one. This is the day. You remember all the predictions? You know, these liberals, these same liberals that's telling you Trump's Hitler, Trump's a threat to democracy, right? These people who've been wrong just about everything, on everything. These people been wrong on just about everything. COVID, the approach to COVID, outcomes, elections. They think, oh, Kamala Harris is going to win. There's no way Donald Trump's going to win the popular vote, won the popular vote. Like, these people, time and time again, they underestimate Trump. And it's due to their own hubris. And even now, as they're supposed to reflect, you know, when you take a L, when you lose, right? A normal person would look back and say, what did I do wrong to get this negative outcome? When a Democrat lose, they deny reality and say, no, this is not true. They somehow cheated. It's not my fault that we end up in this position. It's not my fault that we lost. This is the Democrats. So here it is, 1 minute and 45 minutes of liberals being wrong, from Hollywood to news anchors to politicians. All of them wrong. But they're always so confident that they're going to be right. And if I met somebody that had as bad as a track record as the Democratic Party, I won't trust them on nothing. But here's the media covering for them, hiding all their inadequacies, shining them in a positive light. But let a Republican do even one thing wrong. It's everywhere. Everyone knows about it. The media holds the Republicans at a higher standard, and they hold Democrats to the floor. That's the reality. And they wonder why Republicans tend to be better on policy, tend to present themselves better, tend to be able to hold their own better than Democrats, because Democrats are so used to special treatment that equality feels like oppression. But I digress. Let's look at this 1 minute and 45 minutes of gold here.
Which Republican candidate has the best chance of winning the general election?
Of the declared ones right now, Donald Trump.
And so, right now, Mr. Trump, to answer your call for political honesty, I just want to say, you're not going to be president, all right?
I love the arrogance. I love the confidence. Ooh, these people, and the funny part is, they still bring this damn perception today. Literally, nothing changed. 2016, 2015, this is how they were talking. They still talking like this today.
It's been fun. It's been great. I love you. But come on, buddy. All, let's say, cow poo-poo aside.
You better be ready for the fact that he might be leading the Republican ticket next. I know you don't believe that, but I want to go on.
Sorry to laugh.
President Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States! Exclamation point.
Hey, that's one thing Trump was wrong about. Obama won't go down as the worst president of the United States. That's his VP, Joe Biden. But I digress.
At real Donald Trump. At real Donald Trump. At least I will go down as a president.
I'll make a prediction, though, for you. This one I'll go way out on a limb. Donald Trump will never, ever be president of the United States.
I think will be the cream of the crop, the icing on the cake on this video, is if all the people who were talking all this smack got confronted with their predictions from 2015. That's just what a chef kiss on this video.
Donald J. Trump is now president of the United States.
I am so sorry to my world. I am so sorry to my world. This is not what we want.
Not what you want.
Tears. No, tell me this isn't true. And you know what she doesn't understand? Things are going to be much better now. She doesn't understand.
There you go. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for watching. I know it's been it was a long week. No, got crazy stories. Got Pete Hegseth fighting for his damn political life at this point, right? Media still coming. I guess the ice cream truck's outside. Media's coming full throat for Donald Trump, anyone associated with him. The inconsistent treatment between Democrats and Republicans that the media gives. Softball interviews. Oh, you got to think about the Biden, his children. He went to Thanksgiving, give a whole sob story for Joe Biden, but Donald Trump, God forbid, he wants to pardon his kids to do the same thing that Biden's doing for his allies. Oh, this is clemency, the liberal media says. But, I digress. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I thanks for showing up. Thanks for coming out. Don't forget to like the video on your way out. It really does help the channel. It does help the live streams. I'm trying something new with my thumbnails. Let me know your feedback in the comment section below, because I'm really trying to play around with that to make it a little bit better. But, I digress. I'll see you guys next week. I'll see you guys next Friday, and hope you guys have a good one. Peace.